Hello and happy Sunday, if this goes up on a Sunday, people. And I just kind of wanted to, I didn't even write a script for this video. I'm kind of just looking at stuff I found on Pinterest that I kind of need to share with the world today. I know that I said the Sakura video would come out this week, but I am gonna push it back more. Sorry. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about this thing I found on Pinterest called Yandere Core. I don't even know how I stumbled across this at all because I normally don't have specific aesthetic boards except for very specific things like astrocore. So I have no clue how I came across this, but I saw this image on screen and I just fell down a rabbit hole. I was like, what is this? Am I back in 2018? And I kind of am and kind of not. I just wanted to show you some of these images and read them out. It'll be like a weird version of an audiobook, but there's probably a speed draw in the background, so we will go. And also, if you hear loud noises in the background, we have a very big dog, and he is not super quiet, but he is very adorable. Anyway, on to the video. So let's just talk about the first post I saw while looking at this tomfoolery. It's an image of what looks to be like a schoolgirl, and the text around it reads, "Leave him alone, he's mine, he belongs to me." And I might blur out the "at" on this one because I'm not sure if people want to be associated with this. I don't know, but it's obviously a murder. And it reminded me a lot of Future Diaries' famous character Gasai, but that's just because of pink hair, I guess, whatever. So in the next screenshot I got, which I believe was like directly under this photo, has several pictures, but I'm just gonna read out the first one, which actually does have Gasai from Future Diary, and it says, "I hate her, I hope she dies," and in parentheses it says, "Every girl you've ever looked at besides me." And yeah, I mean, that is kind of the character in the series. She behaves a lot like that. Her behavior, though, in the series was phrased as creepy and scary, and I don't think that's what people who are into this aesthetic are looking at, which is kind of scary. The next image to the right of that one says, "He won't need her anymore," and it obviously shows another murder scene, which is interesting. I think these are actually very similar colors of pink too, which is neat. I don't know, pink is very common in this aesthetic for some reason. To contrast the very cutesy attitude towards love paired with something as dangerous as an obsessive stalker. The image under that one it looks like a screenshot from, I want to say, Death Note, because that looks like Misa. And it says, "Sorry for following you around like a pet and being clingy and wanting to kill anyone that talks to you. Do you still think I'm cute?" One, grammar, of course, but also two, that's a little scary. I know these are probably not serious, blah blah blah. I'm sure I've probably said that dozens of times now, but it's just weird. It's really weird. To complete this screenshot, the one under that looks like one of those Facebook posts where it's like two colors in text, and it says, "Stalking is a love language." Okay. I'm kind of speechless. It's just so weird to me that it's like a crime and they're just like, yeah. The killing one I can kind of brush off more easily because very few people commit murder, but stalking's like a thing that happens more often than murder, and it's not fun, It's more often than not seen as something very scary. The next image is a girl, I'm assuming a girl, curled up in a ball, and it says in the hardest text to read, because this is in grayscale, "He wants me, he wants me, he wants me." And you're going to see a lot of he's in this as well. From what I've noticed, there is some hers, but I mostly see him, and I'm going to assume most of the people promoting this idea are feminine, or more accurately, people who identify as women, or more specifically girls. So it's interesting to see this. The next image has a few pictures that are probably going to be put up on screen, but I'm going to read out part of it, the obsessed one, where it's like, obsess, verb, preoccupy, or fill the mind of someone continually, intrusively, into a troubling extent, but troubling is crossed out, and over it says loving. And also it's in that pink color, and with little hearts around it. Aw, cute. A little scary, but okay. Next picture. It's just a screenshot from Yandere Simulator, which is probably a very heavy influence, unfortunately, on a lot of these. The trope of the Yandere was a thing before the game. It's just, I think that game very popularized it a lot and made it appealing to people to want or to be, which isn't great. Like, the whole part of Future Diary was that Yuna was scary and she was selfish, and it feels like a misread of the show to say that she's desirable. Like, sure, she's conventionally attractive, but she's also a criminal and is one of the main people in the series who causes the ending to be how it is. There's also Pinterest has this function where it says related searches, and like, it's a very popular aesthetic, because normally they'll show things that are not super related, but this one, it has like Yandere Core aesthetic, but it doesn't have I wrote it once as one full word for one of these searches, so it's not a separate aesthetic, but it's different ways of saying the same thing. So it's like Yandere Core aesthetic, Yandere Core wallpaper, Yandere Core aesthetic, psychopath aesthetic, and Yandere profile pic aesthetic. And 3 out of the 5 ones I just listed are pink. Again, which goes back to my point of me thinking that this is somehow related to the cutesiness combined with murder, if that makes sense. Specifically blood, because you can kill someone without blood, but there's a lot of blood. Sorry, I'll put up a warning before this video about that. The next image I'm showing you should be saying, it's one of those other Facebook ones where it's like written over to death, and it says, I'm not saying I'm possessive, but every time I see you with someone, I get so jealous and feel like crying. I'm so scared of losing you to someone else and having to watch you move on. It kind of breaks my heart, because I know a lot of this probably comes from a spot of abandonment, and as one of the comments on the side that I included in the screenshot says, it literally breaks my heart thinking about it, even though she's sitting next to me, which is so scary. Like, please don't have this mindset with anybody. No one's presence should make you feel like you can't be without them, because people are going to come in and out of your lives, and that's completely okay. What is not okay is attaching yourself to them and letting them go when their time to leave your life has come, if that makes sense. It's always okay to know when to let someone go, but you should never feel like you can't let someone go, because then you might need to seek some help, because it really is just a reflection of an inner insecurity instead of this other person being some sort of cure-all, if that makes sense. The next one is also another one of these images that have been written over to death. You can even see in the background, like, all of the times color had to be swatched to write over other letters, and it says, imagine dating me, then boom, I never effing leave you alone because I'm clingy and have abandonment issues and separation anxiety, and I will get super attached to you, with a little heart. Same problem as the last one, where it's like getting too attached to a person because you are scared of them leaving, which I know this is just someone probably venting, but I'm gonna get up on my soapbox again like 10 seconds later. Don't do this. Just, it's not good for you or the other person. Like, imagine someone telling you, that without you in their life, they would shut down. Like, that's scary. That's not their responsibility at all. The next one is less sad. I mean, it's not less scary, but it's less sad, and it says, the urge to write his name all over me. I don't want that mental image personally, but it left me speechless. Anyway, the background is like a cute little cat with a milkshake, again with the very cutesy aesthetic, with something that is slightly troubling, because that's not super normal, and that also being under the Yandere Core aesthetic means that it's appealing to a certain type of people. The next image reads, you're supposed to get possessive if you truly like someone. Not even love, it says like, which is troubling. I know this is probably a joke, or an exaggeration, or trying to appeal to someone. I'm just saying it's a little weird, and I can say that it's a little weird because I used to be not into this kind of stuff, but Yandere Simulator had a chokehold on me in middle school, and that'll probably be a later video because that didn't install me with good ideas of what a relationship should be. And to be fair, I was not surrounded by the best influences, but it's very interesting to see how this can evolve and affect someone later in life. Anyway, on to the next post. Why does he think it's okay to look at other people, let alone follow them? He knows how I am, so why does he do this? It's almost like he wants me to go over there and kill them. God, love him, with a cute little smiley face. And on the top image is a schoolgirl with a bloody knife. Again, there's also a very I'm like speechless. There's a lot of schoolgirls in this one, which makes me think of Yandere Simulator, because that combined this a lot and made it much more popular. I'm not saying that the previous Yanderes like Yunogasai or even Monica from DDLC was not a factor in this, but I think that just gave a little push to make it very popular. The next one says, it's short, it just says, you're mine, I've decided. Uh-oh. And again, with a bright pink color, I'm 90% sure this is some sort of combination between having cute with a very scary message, because that is very scary to hear. Next one says, isn't it so exhilarating to know you have such a cute girl stalking you? Uh-oh. Yeah, this one isn't even about murder, it's about stalking, which is also a little troubling, because I feel like this is falling into and I hate when people use this as an example, but like, if the roles were reversed situation, where it's like, because it's a cute girl stalking someone instead of like a guy stalking someone, it's treated as something you should be excited about or seen as desirable, which is a little strange. But I'm not going to dive deeper into that because I do not have a script. Anyway, on to the next one. It says, this looks like a Tumblr post as well, which is where I think a lot of these also come from. This one says, I want you to love me too. I need me too. Think of me too. Obsess over me too. Get possessive of me too. Kill for me too. Again, with the pinks, I would take a shot, I guess, every time you see the color pink, because it is everywhere over this video. And it transitions from normal text in black to pink bold and then red bold, which is an interesting choice because it also ramps up with the intensity of what's being said. And to shuffle back onto my little soapbox, don't need somebody. Just don't need anybody. If you're an adult, you shouldn't need anyone in your life. It's nice to have people in your life, but if you're becoming dependent on people consistently being in your life that is not like a professional, just don't depend on someone in a romantic relationship like this, which is what this is obviously implying. This isn't like, oh, I need my parents, oh, I need my doctors. This is, I need you, random person, because I love you and find you attractive. Like, don't do that, please. And then next one is a Whisper post, which I don't know why Whisper has invaded Pinterest, but Whispers are all over Pinterest, and it's very interesting to see how aesthetics combined with the normal version of how Whispers just slap text on something have made these posts very successful on Pinterest. It's like a disease. But that's for another day when I have notes. This one just reads, I think I love you. And the background is like obsessively writing I love you with hearts in red ink, which is troubling because it really goes into the insane aesthetic. I don't love that word, but that's what I'm seeing here, is praising this idea of like going over the same text again and again, or writing something again and again just so that you can prove how much you work and care for someone. It's just a little scary. Anyway, again, I think that's going to be the end of this. I will be posting Inktober stuff on my Instagram and probably uploading some speed draws on here as well, because I am very excited to try Inktober digitally this year versus in years past when it had to be traditional. I hope you enjoyed this video where I kind of just showed you random stuff I found online, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.